So that's kind of what I think.
It's better to have.
Oh,
What is it?
jeez.
It's better to have
Loved and lost than to have never loved it all. You are so cheesy.
I had that poster in my room in the 80s.
Of course you did. Hey, stoners, we're so back.
We are so back and together in LA, and we have some kind of big news.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we've been gone for a freaking long time, and we've really missed you guys. I mean, I've been seeing you guys at shows, which has been so fun, but we really wanted to make sure that the show was better than ever when we came back. So we've been hard at work to do a little bit of a rebrand.
We did do a rebrand, and we didn't really plan on doing a rebrand.
No, the rebrand happened to us.
The rebrand happened to me.
No, it happened to us. Trust me.
Well, yeah, it happened to all of us. Yeah. So anyway, we are back with a new name.
Yep.
We are now calling this Sorry We're Cyrus.
Yes.
And we didn't want to stray too far from the name Sorry We're Stoned.
Because we loved it.
Because we absolutely loved it. But honestly, I'm digging Sorry We're Cyrus.
I am too. And everybody that I've mentioned it to is obsessed. And it just makes sense. Like, Cyrus is our family brand, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And I think, like, for me, you know, I don't smoke weed. I never have and haven't, you know, like here and there, whatever. But I think, like, for me, it was, you know, a lot of people were like, well, why is your podcast called Sorry We're Stoned if you don't smoke? And I don't know, there was just something about it that just never felt like fully locked in to me.
Uh-huh.
And Tizzle has some life updates for you that also kind of explain the change in name. Mother, would you like to talk a little bit about that?
And then after we talk about that, I don't want to forget to kind of talk about the name.
What we mean by
what
it.
we mean by that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if we talked about this at all before at the end of last season.
I think we maybe touched on it.
Okay.
Because I think we told the stoners about our vacay in the Bahamas.
Okay, yes. So, stoners, we went on vacay in the Bahamas. And because in the Bahamas, it is illegal to bring weed, I did not have weed with me. And it was kind of crazy because like on the probably like the third day we were there, I just started feeling so anxious and really just not okay. And it was so crazy. I don't know. I just didn't feel, I just really felt like I was having a lot of anxiety. And so when I came home from that trip,
We were there almost a week.
yeah, we were there almost a week.
Long trip.
And when I got back home, I went to smoke weed, and it just made me even more anxious than I already was. And it was not okay. And everybody knows that I love smoking weed. And
Yeah, weed was your brand.
Weed was my brand. Weed was my freaking brand that I have now not smoked for 5 months. Yeah, it's been about 5 months. And honestly, it's been super, super hard. And I miss it like crazy. But I just think that, you know, for now, it's probably best for me to just step back and not smoke. And it really has been a hard lifestyle change in so many ways. But anyway, I will also be super honest about, and I know this doesn't happen to everyone, but for me, I had really bad withdrawals and I'm kind of still going through it. And I think that a lot of it has to do with just like having more time on my hands now and not having weed to smoke and keep myself like distracted and occupied. And so it's just been like a real change. And so we just thought, since there were also, like we talked about, like with the podcast, sometimes it was really hard, like with guests and people that didn't want to come on the show because they didn't want to be associated with smoking.
I personally like to be like very all inclusive.
Yes.
Like I don't ever want someone to feel like excluded or, you know, or like they're not like can't be part of something.
Yes.
So I don't know. That was always in the back of my mind for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been the busiest I've ever been in my life. And I'm super grateful. I love working. I love DJing and I love getting to meet you guys. But I just like looked at my calendar and I was so overwhelmed by all the travel. And since my mom wasn't feeling great, we decided to do a little hiatus. And I know that's been hard on you guys. Like when I meet you guys out, you guys are just like, when does the podcast come back? And trust me, like we've missed y'all. And I really think even though you've been having some anxiety and not feeling great, like I think you've missed this.
Oh my gosh.
And I do feel like this is really good for you because I know you love it and you love hanging with the stoners and everything. So it's definitely like we've been very excited to come back, but we wanted to make sure we had our ducks in a row. And I feel like we're getting them lined up.
We are.
I wouldn't say they're fully in a row, but like they're getting in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're getting there. And, we're still trying to figure some things out. And even for me, like, because I have missed this so much and I haven't had as much to do, I've been doing some things on my own that is going to kind of go along with the podcast. And it's going to be on YouTube. And we're putting it under the name Truly Tish. And it really is just me doing some design work, home interior design with some of my friends that are either moving or updating their spaces. And I have absolutely loved doing that. It's kind of weird. I've been doing it from my closet.
Oh, well, your closet's the size of my freaking bedroom.
So I'm live from the closet, and we do a lot of what would be Dear MTs. We're doing Tea Time with Tish. And so when we put that out there just once, we had so many questions, and thank you guys so much because I was like, oh, we're going to have like 2 people write in, and we had so many, and it's been so much fun to do. So besides the podcast, we're also going to have Truly Tish along with it to kind of keep you guys like along for the ride during the week as well. So that's been really fun.
I feel like the diehards that are watching might remember Truly Tish from our Seriously Cyrus days.
That was a long time ago.
How long ago was that?
I really think we may need to put up
13 years?
a few of the little just pieces from it.
I think so.
Your hair and makeup.
Mom.
No,
we're not putting up things from my show. We're putting up things from your show.
Okay, and all of our shows. It is so crazy how much you've changed and I've changed.
I know.
Because you were fully, I think, blonde. Yeah, white.
Or was it red? It was blonde. Oh my God. I was just showing older photos, but not even that old photos of me. And he was like, that's you?
No.
And I was like, yeah, do I look that different? And he was like, yes. That doesn't even look like you.
You look totally different.
Why is that?
I have no idea. It was just so funny. Kelsey, show Brendy a picture really quick, Caddy.
No, not a video. Oh, yeah, that's not even that. Do I look that different there? That was a fun video to make, actually.
I remember that. There was another one.
I mean, there's the red hair. I miss the red hair a little.
Maybe you did have red hair.
It changed a lot. Oh, God.
I mean, it would be like hard to tell you were the same person.
I know. It's weird. Why, though?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I think it was the eye makeup.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I go very minimal on the eye makeup these days.
It was crazy. So this was like so many years ago that me being ahead of the curve at per usual, wanted to have a YouTube for our family called Seriously Cyrus.
Yep.
And I had a segment on there called Truly Tish.
Yep.
And so we're kind of going back to that. And just really doing things like my favorite part is the design. And it's been so much fun. And so I've been working with my friend Juliana, who is a publicist here in LA, and my friend Adam Sampson, who's a producer here in LA. And one's just Juliana was moving. Adam Sampson's doing a redo of his bedroom and his apartment. And so I've really been helping them, and it's been so much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we get a lot of really cool high design stuff by doing that.
That's cool.
Back to the name.
Well, I just wanted to quickly say, was it called Brandyville?
Yes.
Won't be making a return anytime soon. But I was thinking it would be fun, maybe, next year when the DJ season kind of kicks back off to like take you guys a little more behind the scenes at some of my shows and kind of show you guys like what life's like on the road as a DJ and get to see a little bit of like what my shows are like and have a little YouTube something extra on there. So might be doing that for you guys next year too. So I think essentially like we really just want to like expand the YouTube and do more for you guys and expand the Cyrus brand.
That would be really cool.
You know? Yeah.
You definitely need
I should
to
do that. Yeah, I know.
I like that a lot.
I'm gonna take a tip from Wiz Khalifa. That's what he's doing.
Is he?
I mean, that's what he's been doing is like behind the scenes, like he's constantly got somebody following him
I
around.
remember Trace when I was talking to Trace about Wiz, like and whatever, and he goes, "Mom, I have been watching Wiz on his YouTubes for like 15 years."
Yeah.
Like he was like, that's how Wiz started. It was like a day in his life all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that could be cool.
Yeah.
So the name. So we didn't want to stray too far because we love Sorry We're Stoned and it just sounds nice. So we landed on Sorry We're Cyrus. And I think for us, like I said, like something I love is that most of our fans are just fans of the whole family, which I think is really cool and like really special, you know? That makes it fun for me when I'm DJing. Like I play Miley's songs and I play Trace's song and like you guys love it all. And that just is so cool to us. So I think calling it Sorry We're Cyrus really just like encompasses that and the fan base and the stoners. But I think like we wanted to make sure you guys weren't confused and thought like, we're not apologizing for being a Cyrus. In fact, it's the opposite. We're unapologetically Cyrus. Sorry, not sorry.
Yes.
And so that's just kind of the fun of it. Like, you know, it's nothing that deep. Like it's just funny. Like, sorry, we're not sorry, we're Cyruses.
Yes.
And we love that you guys love the whole family. And I feel like on our like with this podcast too, you guys get like a little behind the scenes look about the family interactions, and we get to talk about everybody and have some of them on hopefully in the future.
Yes.
And that's kind of the plan for the podcast.
Yep. So here we are. Sorry, we're Cyrus.
Sorry, we're Cyrus. It sounds better in the Tish accent.
It does it?
Sorry, we're Cyrus.
Sorry, we're Cyrus.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot we have a new set. What do you guys think?
I love it.
You would love it.
The reason I love it is actually it's pretty much just like my house.
Yeah.
And this is a room actually that I always called the man cave. So like the leather couches and there's a big projector in here and we really are just kind of hanging at my house now. It just feels so much better. And it, like Brandy said, like it feels like inclusive, like you guys are just hanging at my house. I really, really love it and feel like it's such good vibes.
Yeah. I love all the natural light we've got.
I know.
Why did we tape up the windows before?
I'm not sure.
I love having all the sunshine in
I
here.
know, it's great.
You know, my goal is to just be outside 24/7, like as much as possible. So at least I feel like it doesn't feel so cooped up in here.
I
now.
know.
It
feels
is nice.
Great.
I also always fucking hated that blue backdrop.
I know you hated it. So we have a whole new vibe going on.
Yeah, we do. And it's super fun and cozy. And we have some really exciting guests that are upcoming that we'll tell you guys about.
Really exciting.
Later on. And just, I think good things are in store.
I think so
moving
too.
forward, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but we do need their help on a few things.
Oh yeah, we do. We need to see. We've been kind of doing all this. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right. So you guys, like we said, we want to keep the pod essentially what it was, but that means changing the name of some segments. And we love Truth or Toke so much. Like that's such a fun game to do.
But I was the only one that had to toke.
We're not going to be toking anymore. So I never was.
Yes.
So we need you guys to help us out. We're still going to do kind of the rapid fiery questions. Like we're still going to play that game, but we need, how do we say it? We need like,
yeah, I was calling it What's the Tea?
Yeah. What's the tea? Love the name, but I feel like there needs to be some stakes involved. Like before it was like, we're going to ask you crazy questions and some you might not want to answer, but if you don't answer, like you have to do something like you need to do something. Like we need something that people have to do if they don't want to answer questions.
Right.
So we need you guys to help us out with that and come up with some good ideas because y'all are always good at coming up with good ideas.
Yeah.
So hit us in the DMs. If you have any ideas for us, let us know because we're still working out the kinks on that one.
Yeah.
We are keeping high design because why not?
And because it's like high design. It is like high is like good design.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then obviously we're keeping the Dear MTs.
Yes.
But we do have a new email address for you guys to send your Dear MTs to. It's sorrywe'recyrus@gmail.com. And you guys can send us videos, which we love because we love getting to feature y'all on the podcast. And you can also still just send audios or even just like write us a note if you'd prefer. But make sure you guys are sending us those questions still because it's our favorite part of the podcast. And we love hearing from y'all and making this like an interactive thing where you guys are super involved.
I know. It's really fun.
It's good.
And hey, guys, I never really thought about this until our sponsor, Good Wipes, sent us their actual product, which I cannot tell you I am literally obsessed with. First of all, they're for the restroom after you go number 2. Or number 1, or whatever you want to do. Like, I don't know. But they're made for the restroom. They're completely flushable. They smell so good. I cannot even tell you. And I really did. Once I got the product and started using it, I was like, it is weird that we wash our body and everything like with water and soap, and we wipe our baby's butts with baby wipes, but we don't use anything like that when we get to the bathroom. So I have been using these and they are so incredible. I also keep them in my car because they smell so good. So I'll also just use them as like a hand wipe in the car because they actually smell amazing. And that's because they have rose water, shea cocoa, lavender, cedar, and they have a brand new botanical bliss smell as well. And the best thing is you cannot believe how soft they are. But truly, they smell so good and you just feel so clean. And I just cannot say enough good things about them. If you want to update your bathroom ritual, you can either go to Kroger, Walmart, Target, go to the toilet paper aisle, and that's where you'll find these. And, they're also available on Amazon. So makes it even easier. And again, they have the cutest packaging, this rose color. They have an aqua color and emerald. So they look cute in your bathroom. So yeah, Target, Walmart, Kroger, and Amazon in the toilet paper aisle. Good wipes. Okay, stoners. So you guys know I'm not smoking. I am in my CBD girl era. But this company, Via, that I'm getting ready to tell you all about, has something for absolutely everyone. It is so cool. First of all, you need to check out their Instagram. They have the most amazing products, like from CBD gummies, THC gummies, that TCHA strains, THC, CBD. They have a little bit of everything. Okay, let me grab my glasses because there's some super important stuff I need to tell you all about Via. The biggest thing is they're independently owned American farms, and it is the highest quality hemp, and it's free from harsh pesticides or nasty chemicals, which is so important. All of Via's products are organic and vegan hemp extracts, which is perfect for relaxation or rejuvenation. Whether you want to sleep better, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just get high, they have something for everyone. They really do. When you look at their Instagram, it's going to blow your mind. Their products are so cool. And they also have 0 THC products, which is what I'm using right now. And their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams of THC. So these guys have you covered whether you're looking to microdose or if you want more potent effects. They experience top-notch customer support, and it's all affordable and accessible. Okay, some of my personal favorites are the CBD Relief Calming Roll-On, and it's lavender. It is so good. So if I'm feeling anxious, you just roll it on. It smells so good. It is amazing. My other favorite is the CBD Zen gummies for sleep. They are so good. And not only does it have CBD in it, it has other amazing ingredients as well. And it is really, really great for sleep. I cannot rave about them enough. They're so good. But honestly, all their products look so cool. And again, their Instagram, once you're on the Instagram, you're just going to love it because they have so many cool vapes and it's just an amazing company. If you're 21 and over, check out the link via in our description and use the code STONE to receive 15% off. After you purchase, they ask where you heard about them. Please, please, please support our show and tell them we sent you. Again, if you're 21 and over, check out the link in our description and use the code STONE to receive 15% off. You cannot go wrong with Maya. Such a cool company.
Well, we do have a few Dear MTs to do.
Okay, great.
So we can't have a first episode back without some Dear MTs. That'd be crazy. All right, here we go.
Hey, Tish and Brandy. I've been a huge fan of the podcast since you guys started season 1. I remember during COVID, some of those episodes got me through some very long work shifts. Also through my pregnancy where I chose not to smoke. But in spirit, I was still able to have my stoner sessions with Tish, and that was so fun. So I just wanted to come on and send you guys a message and ask, how do you make big decisions in your life? How much time would you say you need? Whether it be a huge purchase or maybe a shift in a relationship or a business choice. Do you put a time limit on it? Would you say you're more impulsive or not with those decisions? Just curious your take on it. Love you guys so much. Sorry I'm not stoned, but I'm about to be.
Lucky.
She's so cute. That's a good question.
It's a great question. I feel like you and I are totally different.
Oh, well, what's your answer?
I just am like gut instinct.
I know you are. You're
impulsive. Like make a decision, which probably isn't always the best thing.
Well, there's something to be said for like, if I give myself too much time to make a decision and get so caught up on like, I just don't know, then I just drive myself crazy. Like, I don't know. There's pros and cons to both, I think. But you're right. Like, I'm truly not an impulsive decision maker.
No.
Like, especially like she mentioned like big purchases. Like,
Yes.
I would never just like walk into a store and drop $2,000 on a bag like that.
No, you're not like that at
I go
all.
home, and if I can't stop thinking about it for like 4 or 5 days, then I'll go back and think about making the purchase. But I would never just impulsively do that. Or like I bought a new car a couple years ago. It was like the first time I ever bought a brand new car on my own. And I thought about it for so long, like months.
Do I do that though in those decisions?
I don't know. I feel like you're pretty impulsive.
Am I?
You're like, I want the souped up 4Runner, and like 2 weeks later, I had a souped up 4Runner.
Dom and I were talking about my 4Runner yesterday, and he said that it's bougie.
It is not bougie.
That's what I said.
What is he talking? His truck is bougier than that 4Runner.
I said I feel like my car is so like
redneck.
It is like so redneck, like just laid back, not at all. And he was like, no. And I was like, I do not believe.
Oh, just wait till you trade that bad boy in for a Porsche
or a Defender. But you know what? Here's what I will say is like in LA, I just see the same car over and over. There's a gazillion Defenders, a gazillion Porsches. And now I'm seeing that. What is ever that? It's made by Tesla,
the
right?
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
The Cybertruck. Is that what you're thinking? I hate them.
There's so many now.
They're so ugly.
Why does anyone drive that? It is massive for one thing. I mean, and I'm just like wondering, like in real life, is it like bomb proof or something? Because it is.
It is?
That's what I figured.
That's why people are getting them.
Wow.
Fascinating.
I knew it. I was like, there has to be a reason that because it looks like a tank.
It does, yeah.
And like it looks like something from the future.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm wondering if it is people that like.
That's an Elon Musk thing, right?
Yeah. Wow. But anyway, I see those everywhere now. But guess what I don't see? My souped up 4Runner.
With the teal blue accent.
With the custom blue accent and the like. It is so me.
It's insane is what it is.
I know. Molly always is like, Mom, it's time to get a new car. And I'm like, no.
Yes. I agree with Miley because I have to fucking drive it when I'm in town and it's embarrassing. And I got stuck in the Wasserman parking garage once and it was really awful.
What's that?
Wasserman's my booking agency, and I was down there and I need to park like underneath in the garage, and your car's too fucking tall. So if you ever go to Wasserman, don't park in the garage.
Oh my gosh.
So bad.
It is jacked up. It is so good. Stoners. It is a stoner car.
It is a stoner car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, circling back to our stoners question, as we're getting off topic.
Oh.
Decisions. I don't know. I feel like some people do better with making impulsive ones. Some people do better thinking about it.
I'm just like gut instinct.
Yeah. I do think that's good. Like if you have a gut instinct, I think you go with it.
Me too.
But if you don't and like you feel like you need to sleep on it, I think that's okay too. But I think like there are times, I think specifically when I'm picking out something for my house, like a new piece of furniture, I will go nuts.
Oh,
going
you
back and
take
forth.
forever.
I take forever to the point where then I'm like, I don't even know if I want this anymore. Like,
you are like that.
I don't know why.
I
just
remember when you were
can't make a decision.
your ottoman, the fabric for your
yeah, I just couldn't decide.
Yes. You are like
some
that.
things like that I just really struggle. So then I get to a point where I just want to pull my hair out and then I'm just like, fuck it, I don't even want it anymore.
Oh my god.
So you don't want to get to that point. That's not a
No.
good point to
And
be at.
I'm the total opposite. I usually know like because I really know what I don't like. So when I find something I like, I'm sure about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
But I don't know if that
to
helps.
each his own.
To each his own. To each his own.
To each his own. But thanks for your question.
We have another one?
Oh, he's in the dark.
Hi, Tish and Brandy. My name is Jonathan, and I, first off, love your podcast. I've watched every single one,
I feel like
and
I met
I just
him.
think that you guys have such a comforting energy about you guys that makes me as a listener feel super comfortable. And so I really appreciate that. But I wanted to call in and ask about advice with kind of just beginning dating. I have never really dated anyone before, and I'm 24.
Aw.
And I think the reason I haven't is because I've been so afraid of the sort of I guess connection that is almost jeopardized in a way. And what I mean by that is like when you enter a relationship, you become so close with someone that the idea that you could potentially lose someone that you're that close with kind of just terrifies me. And I feel like I've sort of accepted a philosophy that I don't want to, where my life is better by myself than jeopardizing my happiness to get something that, you know, like a romantic relationship that could potentially lead to eternal love. But you know, it's a huge risk you're playing. Is like you could either have eternal love or you are building something that is going to eventually lead to a demise. And I guess my question is, how do you think I should in a way navigate or teach myself how to overcome that concept and sort of overcome that hurdle of like being, I guess, terrified of potentially losing someone when you get into a relationship? Because that's just really what one of my biggest struggles in life right now. So thanks, guys. Love y'all.
I love
So
him.
sweet. He's like wise beyond his years too.
Way.
To be like 24 and be thinking about these things
I feel
is
like
like
this is a great question.
pretty
for
crazy.
you.
Oh, you do, huh? How nice of you to think that.
Honestly, because I could feel you in some ways feeling like that.
Well, yeah, I agree with a lot of things he said because I mean, I've been very outspoken about the fact that like I'm great on my own. I love life on my own. I love being single. I love living in my house by myself. Like we were just talking with one of our guests, you know, it's like I love sleeping by myself. I just like thrive in the single life. And so it's sometimes it is hard to be like, is it worth like giving that up? You know, but being in a relationship is also great. But I think in a world where that's just very glamorized and whatnot, I think it's okay if he doesn't want to date. If he wants to like just be on his own, like dating's always going to be there.
Right.
You know, like, so I think that's one way to look at it is like, if you don't want to date, then just don't. And
I
it's
feel
okay.
like he does and he's scared.
So me too. So here's what I'll tell him because I can relate to it is like what I've been telling myself recently because I finally got to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm like ready to start putting myself out there and like I'm ready to like be open to that. And what I've kind of told myself is it gives me some peace of mind to know I can always go back to that. I can always go back to single life. I can always go back to the life I had on my own where I'm happy and I'm thriving and I'm good. Like that'll always be there. And so I think instead of looking at it as like, well, if I start this relationship and it doesn't work, my life's just over and it's just going to be miserable. You're going to be sad for a while, but like time heals pretty much everything. And like that will always be there.
Right.
You know? And so that's kind of what I tell myself now is like, if it doesn't work out, yeah, it's going to suck, but like, it's kind of worth the risk for it to suck for a second to like see if it could be great. But if it's not great, you just go back to being on your own and being good. Because I do truly believe you can always get back to that.
I think that's true.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I think.
It's better to have,
Oh,
what is it? It's better to have loved
and lost than to have never loved at all. You are so cheesy.
I had that poster in my room in the 80s.
Of course you did. That is the most Tish thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's so funny.
It's insane.
But how cute is he?
What a sweetie.
Oh my God, I love him.
I know. And I think it's very wise of him to be thinking about that.
Yeah.
But I also think too, like, by no means am I saying like rush into a marriage at 24. I don't think that's the answer.
Right.
But I do think you need to date and do multiple relationships to know like what you do want and what you don't want. So if you eventually someday want to end up in a relationship or a partnership, then I do feel like you got to date. You got to date a little bit to get there.
You do.
So whether you start that at 24 or 26 or 30, like I think it's all good. But just I think it's you got to put yourself out there and learn what you like and what you don't to find like what you really
exactly.
So,
yeah. He was so cute though.
So cute. I'm
and
obsessed.
and whoever gets him as a boyfriend is going to be very, very lucky.
What a sweetie.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. We have a voicemail.
Awesome.
Audio.
Hey, Tish and Brandy. I just want to say I love the podcast so much. I feel like I'm hanging out with two close friends. I'm calling in today because I am in my early 20s. I'm 23, and I'm looking for a little advice on how to be okay with where you're at. Because there are a lot of things in my life right now that definitely aren't perfect, and I am trying to let go of my perfectionistic tendencies, but I'm just trying to learn how to be okay with where I'm at and accept that, you know, things are going to change and I don't know exactly how it's going to go, and that's okay. So how to be good with where you're at and, you know, enjoy where you're going without being afraid of what's going to come. So love you guys. Thank you.
That's a good question too.
That is good. She's so sweet.
I know. Would you like to start?
Sure, mother. I would love to because it's called Dear BC. I would love to do your job for you. This is a good question. I feel like this is something everyone feels either at some point or all the time. I think we live in a world that's so fast paced and there's so much stimulation that it's hard to be in the moment and appreciate where you're at and what's going on like in the now. Something I feel like I tell you a lot is, and just in general, life is never going to be perfect ever. And even if it feels perfect for a couple of days, something's going to happen. Some up, some down, some low, some high. And I just think life is just ups and downs until you die. And that's just what it is. So I feel like just knowing that and like kind of just reminding yourself like the idea that life is perfect or there's some ceiling I'm going to reach someday is a lie. Like that's never, you're never going to reach a ceiling, like a height of life and just stay there. It's always going to be changing. So I think like accepting that and just reminding yourself of that kind of helps you accept what's now. I think people are scared of change and things changing, but if you can like get rid of that fear and not let that scare you and find comfort in change, I feel like that's a key to like being present and being happy is like change is a good thing, not a bad thing. And the fact that things are going to change should comfort you, not scare you, I think personally.
I know. And see, it scares me.
But it shouldn't. Change can be so great. And like a lot of times in my life, like this is a silly like example to someone that doesn't ride horses. But for me, like when I like move my horse to a barn, like that barn becomes like my home. Like I'm there so much and like make friends there and my horse is comfortable there and whatnot. And like in the past few years, I've had to move Star a couple times to a different barn and I always dread it. And I'm always like devastated at having to move or like just really overwhelmed and just like feel like it's the worst thing ever to have to like take her out of somewhere she's comfortable and move her. But every time I've done it, it's been such a great change. And I've always been like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this. And it's something I did not want to do and was so upset about. And then I do it. And then I'm so glad I moved, you know?
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Analogy.
Like I feel like every time that I like am kind of forced into something like a change that I'm not stoked on, I'm always so glad in the end that it happened.
Well, that is great, Bran.
You know, I know it's horses and it might sound silly, but like, it's not silly.
No,
to
it's
me.
good.
I take the horses very seriously.
I know.
So yeah, just things like that. So I think you just find comfort in the fact that a lot of times change leads to good things. Like I would say like 90% of the time, Change is a really good thing.
Did she say she was 23?
I think so.
Oh my gosh.
She's so young.
Girl, you have got your whole life.
Yeah. And it's going to go up and it's going to go down and it's going to be great. And sometimes it's not. And that's okay. And that's the life and that's the ride. And you got to take it for what you got when you got it.
All these horse
Mother.
analogies. The rod. You're such a horse girl.
I'm such a horse girl. But you know what? I love being a horse girl.
We have any more?
I think we got one more.
Awesome.
Oh, we got a little DM message. This is cute. This is from Cassie. First, I want to say I love y'all's podcast. I listen to it every time it comes out. I loved watching Hannah Montana, and I passed that along to my 8-year-old daughter, Mackenzie. My question is, where is the best donut place in Nashville? Or the best donut place you both have had? I'm pregnant with my second daughter, Hazley. That's a cool name.
Ew.
Hazley May, and all I eat is donuts. Sorry, I'm not stoned, but I will be soon as I pop this baby out. Also, love your merch. She's cute, Cassie. So I'm guessing she lives in Nashville.
Okay, it's so funny. When I was pregnant with Brazen, I lived on donuts.
You did?
It's all I ate.
I eat donuts and I'm not pregnant.
I love
donuts.
You know probably the better donut places now. And the place that I loved was literally like this little teeny hole in the wall in Green Hills.
It's still there.
Right across from the mall.
It's still there.
It is
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called,
but it has
either.
a big sign out front neon that says donuts.
Yes.
So you can't miss it.
It's right in Green Hills. That's Hillsborough Road, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's across the street from the mall.
Yep.
And the donuts are so freaking good.
Okay.
Any others?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I personally love just like a plain glazed donut.
That's what these are.
And that's what that is. So like if that's your jam, just like classic, go there. If you want a bougie donut, there's a place called Five Daughters Bakery. You've had Five Daughters.
I have had five. It is bougie.
It is they're bougie donuts, but they're so good. And they're great for like special occasions too, like birthdays and stuff. It's kind of a cool place to get donuts from. But they're huge and they're all like specialty donuts. So like one will have cinnamon toast crunch on it. And one will like be like blueberry glaze, lemon, such and such. Like they just have like extravagant donuts. Yes. They're so yummy.
Okay, so you have the bouge or the super plain glaze.
And both are good.
And both are great.
Yeah, I know. Also, I love the place here. I think it's called California Donuts in LA. Yeah, the one that puts cereal on all the donuts. Remember, Noah and I used to drive to downtown LA to get them all the time.
I've never heard of that.
Yes, California Donuts. And it's downtown in like a sketchy area. But you go and it's just like a walk up like window and they have all these cereal donuts. And I love the one with Fruity Pebbles on it.
Oh my gosh. Well, my favorite is another hole in the wall here in Burbank called the Donut Prince.
That one's fun.
Ugh.
That one's really
fun. I love it so much.
It's a good spot.
So
we love donuts.
We are on our donut
I
kick.
love donuts.
I do too.
Now I want one.
I know. Sounds
Can we go to
bomb.
Donut Friends?
Yes.
Sounds so good. Oh, I love it so much. Guys, we missed y'all.
So much.
This was fun.
I know. I'm so glad we're back.
Me too. We are so back. All right, you guys. Well, I know this might have been a little bit of a short episode, but it's going to be worth it because next week we have a really, really great episode for y'all. Do we tease who it is? We can?
We can?
Do you want to do the honors?
Honestly, I mean, we can just say who it is. Okay, so we are coming on strong.
We are
coming back. Literally, she is one of my favorite people on the planet. She feels like another daughter to me, or like even just best friend. But I cannot even believe it. It's going to be so much fun. We are having Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy on as our first guest back.
Yep, next week.
I'm so excited
the
to have her on.
podcast queen.
She is the podcast
father
queen.
herself.
The father.
She will be here.
The ultimate father.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We love Alex, and doing her podcast was so fun. Like literally to this day, when I meet you guys out at shows and stuff, everybody's like, oh, I just loved Call Her Daddy episode. I loved you guys on Call Her Daddy. And so we thought it was, only fitting that we had Alex on ours. So she will be here next week. And we're so excited about that.
I can't wait.
But in the meantime, please call in, email in with your Dear MTs, your questions, and all that good stuff. And if you want to get in on Tea Time with Tish, Truly Tish, High Design, any of that stuff for Tizzle's YouTube, you can send all that to sorrywe'recyrus@gmail.com. And just specify, what you're calling in for. And and we're so excited. And we love you guys so much.
Yes. So
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you next week with Alex.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.